All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar Double honor to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, and salutations to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson. I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. Now, this is going into camp last Saturday, where brothers had encountered, a black-only Israelite scoffer. Okay, it seems to be no shortage of those, even in the times that we're in. Okay, they won't acknowledge the other tribes. Now, I'm gonna play some of this camp, and I got some history and some precepts that I want to bring out. Because Israel, was scattered. Our people, as a whole, the northern and the southern kingdom, were both scattered throughout all of the nations. So we're going to look like those nations. Some of us will look like the nations that we were scattered into. After the third generation, you go into a nation, and this is facts, man, scientific fact. If a man goes into a nation and he pops another woman, and he has a son, and that son pops another woman of that nation, and that woman has a son, and then that son pops another woman of that nation. By the third generation, they're looking like the people of that nation. But they're still of the seed line of Israel, regardless to what they look like, okay? Because their seed, the original seed, came from Israel, all right? So we're going to play this video, and I hope your brothers are edified.
For the people, many atrocities were...
As a matter of fact, before we get started, let me bring out a quick precept. This is Ezekiel 22 and 15, and it says, "And I will scatter thee among the heathen and disperse thee in the countries, and I will consume thy filthiness out of thee. And thou shalt take thine inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord." You see, so the Lord scattered us among all of the heathen nations. Okay? He scattered us among all of the heathen nations. All right? And it says it all of the scriptures. I can pull up many scriptures where the Lord keeps saying, I'm going to scatter you, I'm going to scatter you, or I have scattered you. All right? So let's go ahead and play this video.
Committed against our people, predominantly the southern kingdom in Rome. Right. Okay? So the Roman Empire came down on Jakes, so-called Negroes, the so-called West Indians, Jamaicans, okay, and the tribe of Levi. They came down. All right, go ahead, bro.
It says, during the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews...
Joel 3 and 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
The what?
The Grecians.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Who are the Grecians? Who are the Grecians?
They the Europeans. They the ones taught us English. They the ones.
What is wrong with him?
He said the Greeks taught us English.
The Greeks taught us English.
The Greeks taught us English.
Hey, but real talk, bro. You need some help.
Stop while you here.
You need some help, bro. You tripping. Like, all bull crap aside, bro. You tripping, bro. You tripping, bro. You ain't right, bro. Your spirit ain't right, man. All right, read that again, huh?
Joel 3 and 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Now, the Grecians are Edomites, man.
They're Edomites.
The word Greek, Greek goes back to what?
It don't say
Japheth,
you put that only on
which is one of the sons of Japheth. During the time that Esau went into those Japhetic lands, they took their cultures and customs and languages, and they started to call themselves Greeks. Okay? That's what happened, man.
He just answered your question.
Just like now, we ain't doing it. But look, just like now, right? You got certain Edomites that came to America, conquered the Native Americans, and start calling themselves Indians. You got Edomites that do the same thing. What are you talking about? This dude is lost. Go ahead, Barzal.
This is our first Maccabees 101. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of Persians and Medes, That he reigned in the stead, the first over Greece.
Right, the first over Greece. Philip the Macedonian. And when you go into the book, I believe it's the book of, is it Maccabees or Esther? You figure out that the Macedonians were Edomites. Okay? You can go, you can trace their lineage back to the Edomites, man. You can trace Agag. Look up Agag. Or you can go into the book of First Maccabees, the 5th chapter, and you can see how the Idumeans were Edomites.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
the Herodians too.
I just pulled
what
up.
What Isaiah say? The burden upon Arabian.
Antipater,
What Isaiah say?
the Idumean.
Antipater right there, bro.
He won't read.
This is from Google. Antipater the first, the Idumean, was the founder of the Herodian dynasty and the father of Herod the Great.
So what are you talking about? The Greeks are not Edomites.
Herod was our skin color.
So
Right.
Ooh, but he was Edomite.
Yeah, good
Herod was darker than us.
Pride is a dangerous drug. I want y'all brothers, but serious, on a serious note, I want y'all brothers to take heed and view this as an example of pride, and not being able to humble down to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We look, man. We been out here. These elders, we've been out here. We ain't new to this information.
We dealt with this every week at 5. This is a 5 points guy.
This is a lightweight 5 point guy. This is a lightweight 5
It
point.
wasn't at 5 points back. Y'all getting like a sample. But it was like 3 of them.
Yeah, sometimes like 7 or 8.
Give me John.
You know, we've been doing this thing for years, man. You know, we ain't new to this. A lot of these guys, they finding this information on TikTok. They finding they find it on YouTube, and then they think they could come out here and try to teach us. Like we ain't been doing this before the fucking 2010s, man. Right. We've been out here, man. We've been knowing this.
Almost 15
We've been dedicated our life to this information, man. That's just pride at its purest form. That's all it is, brother. And take heed that you never turn into that. Right? Hey, we're not even like that. We have leaders and teachers that teach us, and we humble down to their teachings. All right? So look at this. This is.
Since you read it, it said root, right?
That's a prophecy that had to be fulfilled.
Right. But if I can say this, that's why Spirit had us forced to do that.
Man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him, and he was despised, and we esteemed him not.
All right, so, you know, if you go and you watch the whole video, you'll see that the scoffer, you know, the reason why he even walked up was because of the 12 chart sign. And let's see if I can find that right there. And then we'll get into the lesson. So, Salakia, Akim. He's around about here.
Yep.
And it says,
The scriptures tell you to keep your mouth shut when you come. That is the most simple. And what entails the details of our occupation is the saving of the souls. That because we really are. Matthew the 24th chapter. All right, but first, what did I have to tell you, Brad? Okay, yeah, get Matthew 24. We'll get Ephesians 4 and 30 later. Matthew 24 and you shall become a witness. What is that? Verse 14, something like that. 15. A witness unto the whole world.
the last time we were together, we see the cherry.
The
The last time we were together, we see the cherry.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like
Well, yeah, pretty much. You know, we're out here giving. Oh shit, where is it? Oh, I want to see it. True home. We're vagabonds. We're pilgrims.
Hey,
Yep.
and it says,
The scriptures tell you to keep your mouth shut when you come. I hear you, but where were we before Egypt?
Here we go.
Place to where you can actually, in a sense, relax. But we understand the scripts when it says this is not our rest, and it's just little things that we're mentioning now that shows that it ain't our rest.
I got something for you real quick if you don't
Let me
mind.
finish this precept real quick. Matthew 24. Finish that real quick.
Matthew 24 and 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
Right, this good news is going to be taught to you people on this sign, going from Judah, you so-called Negroes, all the way down to you fucking Mexicans. Go ahead. I had to emphasize that, man. Shit, I'm Gad through faith and belief. I thought Gad was the most simplistic tribe. You fucking Mexicans got something coming to you. We keep mentioning down in Mexico City is what, 2 or 3 brothers down there?
Yeah.
There's two brothers. 22 million people in Mexico City. Wake the fuck up, Mexico. Well, matter of fact, no, fuck it. Yeah, get snuffed.
Stay asleep.
Stay asleep. Go ahead, bro.
I think brother got a question.
Okay, what's up? Well, you know we're scattered too, right? You said we was all black when we were where? But where were we before that? I hear you, but where were we before Egypt? So you're telling me Israel started in Egypt? You're telling me Israel started in Egypt? Well, okay, let's go to Bible. Let's go to Bible 101. No, hear me out. I hear you.
All right, so that's where it all began. Okay, so you've seen, later on, how it started getting into, Antiochus Epiphanes and, Alexander the Greek and all that later on. But this is how it all started, is when he came to the camp and he started talking about how, about the 12 tribes signing that, all of us were supposed to be blackity black and I'm black, y'all. All right. So, of course, we're going to go into the scattering of the northern and southern kingdom, okay? Southern and northern kingdom, but preferably, but primarily the northern kingdom, the northern kingdom. All right, so all right. So we're going to skip around a bit just to get quickly to the point. This is 1 Kings 11. All right, and we're going to the beginning. And it says, we'll start at verse 1. It says, "But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you should not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and he was not perfect with the Lord his power, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the other goddesses, Ashtaroth the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Malcolm, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord as David his father." Okay. "Then Solomon built an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods. And the Lord was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Lord power of Israel, which had appeared to him twice." So the Lord appeared to Solomon, like, I showed myself to you, right? "And had commanded him concerning the thing that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, forasmuch as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant." You see? So the Lord said he was going to take the kingdom from Solomon and give it to his servants. Okay? And it says, and King David was that guy, man, because even after King Solomon had did all these things, what did the Lord say? He says, notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. Okay, so the Lord didn't take it from Solomon during his life, but instead, he said that I'm gonna take it from your son. All right. Now I'm gonna skip down. Well, you know what? We can continue reading. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed of Edom, so he stirred up an Edomite against him. All right. So we're gonna skip down a little bit. And it's verse 23, and it says, and Yahweh stirred him up another adversary, Rezon, the son of Eladiah, which fled from his lord Hadazer, king of Zobah. And he gathered men unto him and became captain over a band when David slew them of Zobah. And they went to Damascus and dwelt therein, and reigned in Damascus. Okay? So the Lord stirred up two adversaries to take down Solomon. All right? Now we're going to scroll down a little bit because we want to see. All right? And we're going to start at verse 29. It says, and it came to pass at the time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem that the prophet Ahijah the Shumite found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment. And they two were alone in the field. And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rend it in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, take these 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon and give 10 tribes to thee. Okay, but he said, but he shall have one tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel. So the Lord, he split the kingdom. This was the beginning of the split right here. Okay, this was the beginning of the split. Now, of course, you black Israelite men only, only the blackity black, y'all. There's plenty of information in the scriptures and in circular history to back this up. Okay, y'all just don't like going into the scriptures. All right. So let's go to First Chronicles 5:26. All right, and it says, as a matter of fact, let's go up a little bit. Let's go to 23. And it says, and the children of half tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land, and increased in Bashan unto Baal Heramoth and Shinar, and unto Mount Hermon. And these were the heads of the house of their fathers, even Ephir and Aisha and Eliah, Elil and Arizel and Jeremiah and Hodiah and Jadel, mighty men of valor, famous men, and heads of the house of their fathers. And they transgressed against the power of their fathers, and went whoring after other gods of the people of the land whom Yahweh destroyed before them. So you went chasing after the same gods that Yahweh had destroyed the people before you. So these people were destroyed. And you're gonna go after their gods who couldn't protect them. And Yahweh's and the power of Israel stirred up a spirit of Paul, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Telgath-Pilneser, king of Assyria. And he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them unto Halah and Harbor and Hara, and to the river of Gozan unto this day. So the 12 tribes, the 10 tribes were taken into captivity. All right. Now, when you go to Wikipedia, right, and it says Israelite diaspora reflects there from modern expats originating in the state of Israel. It says the Assyrian captivity or the Assyrian exile is a period in history of ancient Israel and Judah during which several thousand Israelites of the kingdom of Israel were forcibly relocated by the Neo-Assyrian Empire. This is one of many instances of resettlement policy of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. The kingdom of Israel was conquered by the Neo-Assyrian Empire monarch Tagath-Pileser III and Shalmaneser V. The later Assyrian rulers, Shurgan II and his son and his successor, Sennacherib, I'm sorry if I pronounced that right, incorrectly, were responsible for finishing the 20-year demise of Israel's northern 10-tribe kingdom, although they did not overtake the kingdom of Judah. Jerusalem was besieged but not taken. The 10 tribes resettled by Assyria and later became known as the 10 lost tribes. You see that? Bam. So there is history behind this to understand where the tribes had went. Okay? This is why they're not black only, because they were scattered. All right? They were taken into the Assyrian captivity and they mixed among the Assyrians. All right, you got to remember, every time Israel was taken into captivity, they were mixed amongst the nations that they were taken into captivity to. Okay, and showing you that that we're all not the same color. It's not a color thing. All right, some Israelites are going to be light, some Israelites are going to be dark, some Israelites are going to look like the other nations. For instance, let's go to where is it at? Isaiah 16:4. That says, "Let my outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be a convert unto them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at the end. The spoiler ceaseth, and the oppressors are consumed out of the land." Now, what does this mean? Does this mean, hide the Israelites? Because Moab was beefing with Israel too. No, this is going into how the seed will be hidden through Moab. Okay? So the Moabites, Jacob will go start popping Moabite women, and they would start having babies. And those babies will eventually look like Moab, but they would actually be Israelites. Okay? That's one instance. Here's another instance right here. This is Hosea 7 and 8. It says, Ephraim, how he mixed himself among the people. Okay? And it doesn't mean your mama's this and your daddy's this, so you mixed. It means that Ephraim looks like the people. All right? It says Ephraim is a cake not turned. Now let's look at a cake not turned. Here's a cake not turned. This is a pancake. You see it's nice and golden, brown and dark. And then here is the other side of it. Almost looks like it's white, okay? Because it hasn't been turned. But does that make it not a pancake? Still a pancake, all right? Just like a Jake is still a Jake, even though he may look like an Edomite if he's of the seed of Israel. All right, this is very simple, man. This isn't hard. You just got to sit down and read and study a little bit. You don't even got to do a lot. This is something that I put together this morning, just going and looking at the precepts and finding a little history. All right. So this is Second Ezra's. Second Ezra's 13, and I'm gonna start at verse 39. And it says, "Whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those 10 tribes, which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Osiah the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led them away captive." You see, all of these scriptures correlate. They correlate with one another. Okay, and then it goes into secular history as well. Okay, you can go and you can look all this stuff up. It says, "And he carried them over the waters, and so they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen," right? Because they were scattered amongst the heathen, "and go into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they may keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land." So what is this talking about? When you go into the book of Chronicles and you look at the kings of the northern kingdom, they ain't never keep the statutes, laws, and commandments. The southern kingdom had kings that did good in the sight of the Lord. It wasn't that many, but they did. Okay? So not only is it saying it's the 10 tribes, but it's also giving a description of them. It says, which they never kept in their own land. When they were back in Israel, they never kept their laws. Okay? They never kept the commandments of the Lord. So they had the mind like, okay, well, let's go into this country. Maybe we can actually do it. All right? "And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High had shown signs for them, and held the flood till they were overpassed." So the Lord made it to where they got over here to the Americas. There wasn't any people living over here at the time. Okay, now you did have King Solomon who sent people over here to get certain exotic things, but ultimately there weren't any people living here. They weren't dwelling in this place. Okay, but as you can see right there, it tells you that this was the 10 tribes, and then it also says that they never kept their laws in their own land. What tribes didn't keep their laws in their own land? Was it not the 10 tribes? When you go back and you review their history. But Jake, you always want to be right about something that you just don't take the time to actually look into it, man. All right. So we got all these precepts. Let me close these out. All right, and this is going to be my last precept here, and then, pretty much hit the point. This is Jeremiah 50:33, and it says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go." Now, how did this happen? This happened when the so-called Negroes were brought, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were brought over here on cargo slave ships, and they were brought to the Americas, okay, and they were put into captivity. Gad, Reuben, Issachar, and all of them, and all of the 10 tribes were pushed off of their land, and they were put on reservations, and a lot of them were put into slavery too, and Judah was put into hardcore bondage, okay? And if you look what races of people are being oppressed in this nation to this very day, okay? So the Lord did this. This prophecy was fulfilled when Judah, Benjamin, and Levi came over here to the Americas off of cargo slave ships to oppress the children of Israel and the children of Judah together. Now, listen to this. Why did the Lord say the children of Israel and the children of the children of Israel and the children of Judah. We're all Israelites. Why did he give that distinction? Okay? Because he was giving you the differences between the southern and the northern kingdom. The southern kingdom being Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and the 10 tribes being Manasseh, Simeon, Ephraim, Gad, Reuben, and Naphtali, Zebulun, and so on and so forth. Okay? So this is easy to see, man. It's not hard. All right? This is not hard. All right? All you got to do is just do a little research. But you go, like the brother said, you go in and you watch a couple TikToks and a couple of videos, not realizing that, we as men of the Lord, we go on the highways and the byways, we do the research, so you can't gainsay us, man. All right, we learn the history. We'll go and we'll research something out, and it's not that hard because the information is there. All right. So with that, I pray this is an edifying lesson. I'm ended off by giving all praises going honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadosh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, great middle sons, and next time I say shalom.